Greetings! Welcome to the shop. I'm John Snell. We are so excited to have trombonist, singer, and songwriter Aubrey Logan with us today. So, joining us via Skype, I have both Noah Gladstone of the Brass Arc, who will help co host with me, and our artist, Aubrey Logan. So, let's bring them in. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Everyone's looking great today. Not bad for a Monday, huh? Although I guess
I decided to put pants on, so it's a good thing.
I guess, yeah.
How do we know that?
Yeah, that's true. You don't know. You don't know.
I mean, with the pandemic, I guess every day's a Monday. I mean, we're fortunate to be back at the shop, but artists and whatnot are still hanging around at home. So we're excited to get this. It was so cool having you, Aubrey, on the podcast on the Trombone Corner, and we got a lot of great feedback about that. So.
It's honestly the best podcast I've ever been on. I'm really not just saying that. You guys ask better questions than anybody that I've ever encountered. Really.
Well, shucks. Really. All right. Well, thank everyone for joining us. Yeah. We can end right there.
That's a mic drop right there.
Well, we already got folks checking in. And for those of you viewing around the world, let us know where you're viewing from. This is one of those things where, for us, it's just as much about connecting with you who are viewing. So let us know, show some love in the comments where you're viewing from, and most importantly, let us know what questions you have for Aubrey. We have her for the next half hour, 45 minutes, and now's your chance to ask her pretty much anything, right?
Where are the bodies buried? Yes, all of those things.
We already got Kent in the UK checking in. So, yeah, we're covering the world. Alvar was asking, would this be of interest in professional development standpoint? So why don't we start there, Aubrey? How did your career develop? I mean, you're still young. You've done so much stuff with your life. How did that develop? What tips can you give?
I did, as we talked about in the podcast, it was sort of like as a kid, I always wanted to do this. I always wanted to do music. At first it was always that I wanted to sing, and then I picked up a trombone when I was 12, and it was like, well, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, but how is that going to work? I honestly did not think that when I was a little girl and I wanted to write songs someday, that meant run a company, but sadly that is what it means. But I also wouldn't trade it for the world. So really how it happened was like, you just have to go take a risk, a small risk first, such as put your show together, get your group together, and go play at the local coffee shop. Okay, did that work? Good. Did you pay your band? Great. Did you make any money? No, you spent money to do it because that's what it costs. And then eventually you get those 5 people in the audience bring their 3 friends next time, and then you have 15 people in your audience, and so on and so forth. And then, I did go to music school, but even then it doesn't just give you like a platform right away. You must keep on doing shows and hoping that those fans, if they like you enough, they will bring their friends next time. And before you know it, it's what we learned in school, exponents. Exponents? I forgot what those mean. But it's a lot of perseverance. It's a lot of learning. Use wisdom, but also you gotta my husband likes to say, you gotta risk it to get the biscuit. You just have to take calculated risk all of the time.
Great advice. And we got a question from Instagram earlier, and you kind of brought this up comically. Why do you use a plastic mouthpiece? For the 458th time.
Yeah. So everyone asks me this. Every time I post a photo of my horn, I get this question, new mouthpiece? No, the same mouthpiece for the past, 3 or 4 years now, maybe 3 years. But it is a 12C, just like any other 12C, and it's made by a guy in Switzerland, and the mouthpiece brand is called Brand Mouthpieces. And it is made of PVC, and I got it because I was playing this tour with Dave Koz, and we were doing outdoor concerts every day and 90-minute, 2-hour shows, running around the stage, doing choreography, outdoors, and it was weather control, to be honest. And also the fact that it's plastic makes it feel like it's like a gold-plated mouthpiece, because it's the same softness as a gold-plated mouthpiece, except it's not gold. and it's not brass, and it is always warm. The other thing is I sing my shows, and I sing probably 80% of the show or 75% of the show, and then when I have to pick up the trombone, it's never warm because I haven't been playing it for the entirety of the show. And the plastic mouthpiece definitely helps me out big time.
Well, there you go.
That.
Yeah, lot to type out. So now we have this. We can save this clip. So that anytime.
Now there's the answer, guys.
And as long as we're talking about geeky equipment stuff, but I should mention we already have folks checking in from all over the world. We have Thomas from. He's from Ireland, but living in Germany. We have Fresno, California. We have Helsinki, Finland, Suffolk, UK, Philadelphia, PA. So a lot of folks checking in already from around the world. So showing the love.
Hi, guys. We love you.
Someone, where I think it was Dan, who asked about what brand of horn are you using?
Well, it's right there on front.
Yeah, right there.
Prominently placed. So there we go.
It's Mick Rath. It's made by Michael Rath. So it's a Rath trombone, and all he makes is trombones. He doesn't make any trumpets. He doesn't make any flutes. He doesn't make any baritone horns. He just makes trombones. I love you, Mick Rath.
Damn good trombones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check out Rath trombones.
Absolutely.
Big fans.
Big
cool.
fans.
Robert's checking in from Massachusetts. Miss you in the Berkeley hood, right? You were.
Oh man, I miss that hood too. Shoot, how you guys are doing well over there? That's cool.
We got someone who works with Brand. Aaron's checking in.
Fabulous.
Aaron, and he's from Canada, but he works with the Brand company. So there you go. Florida checking in.
Facebook feed today. We are doing it.
That's awesome, right? I mean, these things are so cool because like everyone's sitting around and you've been busy. I mean, we want to talk about your latest single, right?
It's okay.
Airport codes. You're gonna, airport codes, right?
Yes. So my single came out on Friday. It is on every single music platform you can possibly think of. Spotify, Tidal, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Pandora, Deezer, Napster, wherever it is. I mean, I had somebody I wrote the other day, like, the single is out everywhere, and they're like, but is it also Amazon? Yes. When I say everywhere, I really do mean everywhere. And it is a song that I wrote for my first album, Where the Sunshine is Expensive, and the song is called Airport Codes, and I wrote it kind of in the middle of a lonely funk of a time period when I was on tour all the time, and ironically released it during a pandemic when touring is off the table and when flying around the world is off the table. And the fun thing about it though is, and the horn players might specifically enjoy this fact, this is a horn arrangement finally of that tune, and it's arranged by this fabulous band in Germany. They're called Hagelslag, which is actually a Dutch name for a tasty sandwich, but they are a German band in Hamburg, and they are so funky and so R&B and so good. And we collaborated on this project, and now Anthony, the piano player, and the band leader arranged this really cool horn arrangement. Trombone, trumpet, sax, maybe 2 saxes, I think. The reason I don't know, and I have to go back and listen and find out, is because I've never actually met them in my life. And they performed the entire take in their studio in Germany, and then I did my take and my part and put the camera on over in Los Angeles. So that's the beauty of the world we live in now. I can't wait till I can get over to Germany and meet those guys, but the single is out. It is out everywhere. If you want a home base where to find it, just go to aubreylogan.com and you'll find it there, or otherwise just type in Airport Codes, Aubrey, on any platform you use, and it'll show up.
Yeah, and what we can do while we're doing this, if I can multitask enough, I'll put the link down in the comment section so people can click over to it after the Q&A is over, of course, right? No, so what was that like? I mean, you've done a lot of, the questions are coming in so fast, and the love from around the world. Who was it up above here Sam was asking about what you were doing during the pandemic. I mean, besides the single, you've been doing all kinds of content online and social media that I know we talked about in the podcast. So, what was it like doing that across the pond? I mean, putting that stuff together remotely.
Honestly, we do it all the time. And because it's just quite simple to Dropbox over the files and sing over it, the honest truth is it's more fun to be together in person. And it's a little anticlimactic to do it, to be recording, your vocal over top something a band has done super far away, even though they sound amazing. Although I will say the reward is great because you hear it put together when it's over. Once you've all contributed your parts, you hear the final mix, and that's when you feel the magic. That's when you feel the excitement that you don't necessarily get as much while you're doing it. Although I gotta say, improvising over the chords and the way that his band was playing was actually pretty exciting, even though they weren't there. But I mean, logistically, it's not difficult to do. I'm talking to you guys from thousands and thousands of miles away, so logistically, it's fine. It's just musically, it's we haven't played a lot in person with people in the past few months. And that's what we're missing, but we're really excited about doing that again one day.
One of these days, live music will come back. Looking forward to it. We are here live. Noah Gladstone's helping me out from the Brass Arc, and Aubrey Logan is here answering your questions. So show us some love in the comments. Let us know where you're viewing from around the world. And, of course, if you have any questions for Aubrey, now is your chance. We will be reading the comments and asking her live. The next question comes in from Thomas Woodburn. He's asking, who inspires you? Good question.
Yeah. There are a lot of people who are no longer with us who inspire me. Ella Fitzgerald inspires me. Dexter Gordon inspires me. Most of my musical inspirations, at least horn playing inspirations, I hate to admit this, are not trombone players. Most of them are trumpet players, saxophone players, for example. Dexter Gordon is probably my favorite horn player of all time to ever transcribe and learn how to solo from. And then as far as singers are concerned, they're endless, but Ella Fitzgerald is definitely number one. Linda Ronstadt is a major influence on me, and Frank Sinatra is a major influence on me. And Louis Armstrong is a major influence on me. I mean, I'll get all the time, oh man, singing and playing the trombone, that's unique. And I don't think it is at all because Louis Armstrong. But my major influences right now are my peers and people in my peer group doing what they're doing. Hoggleslag is a major influence on me. Wolfpeck is a major influence on me, and Snarky Puppy is a major influence on me. Alabama Shakes is. Cyril Ame, she's a jazz singer. Esperanza Spalding, Emily King, PJ Morton, the people that are writing such incredible songs right now. Good music is so alive and well. It is everywhere, and I am highly influenced by what my people are doing.
Yeah, so you're always listening and probably getting a lot of different influences from not just jazz, right? And any particular trombone players that you listen to?
Well, I do listen to Trombone Shorty because he makes me feel cool. Like every time I put his music on, I feel like strutting down the street. Mm-hmm. So he is awesome. And I'm on a bit of a Frank Rosolino binge. My favorite trombone player is, I don't like to say favorite, but he's my favorite too, is Wycliffe Gordon. And I'm very influenced by his playing because he's so he sings through his horn so well. Oh, he also is a singer. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm very influenced by how he really sounds like a gospel singer through his trombone. That's it's beautiful. I can't get over it.
Right? That's
yeah.
I mean, you can't choose better trombone players to be influenced by. People. Samantha from San Antonio checking in. She's known you for 13 years. Roy from the UK asking when you're going to come back. Someone, I forgot their name up here. When it's possible.
As soon as possible.
Diego from Luxembourg. You should come to Luxembourg. Man.
I'll be there as soon as possible.
Awesome.
Aubrey, I have a question. I know you've just moved from LA to Texas. So how's that all going? You seem pretty well. Cool. You seem like you're situated okay. So.
Yeah, I'm situated just fine. I'm looking for a house to buy in Austin, but I don't feel like I'm in a major rush. It's really cool to be here and get a feel for this place. I mean, it is harder to get a feel for where you are when there is a global pandemic and subsequent shutdowns, although there are some things opening up here, and it's been really fun to see. And I mean, I already liked this place so much. So really, truly, I'm just really happy to be here. And as far as the fact that this is oddly handy, that I'm not touring, it is easier to move.
For sure.
When you're not in the middle of a global tour.
And you guys, I'm assuming you drove from LA. You put the cats in the car and drove, right?
Put the cats in the car, and no, we had 2 cars and 2 cats, and I had the more difficult cat, and my husband had the easy cat because that's just how we roll. And they got here. And now they're back. And now they're fine.
That's an accomplishment. I love it. Anyone's ever had cats in the car before? It's not, it can be treacherous.
Me neither. And so that was funny. And I think my cat looked at me, and swore at me. I think she was cussing at me the whole time, actually. And the it's cool here in Austin, though. There is a jazz club that is here in Austin doing weekend shows right now, socially distanced shows, where they've basically reduced their tables to about a third or less capacity, and the trio is playing. So if you are in Austin, and it's reservation only because, as soon as it's hit a certain amount of people, they won't take anybody else, but Parker Jazz Club is open here, so on weekends, and I did make a reservation recently, didn't tell them I was coming, showed up. It was really fun to see those guys, really fun to see the owner, and gosh, I felt like drinking water for the first time hearing the trio play in person. So go support Parker Jazz Club if you live in Austin. They do live streams too, and let's keep them going.
What fun! So is the sunshine expensive there too, or?
A little less expensive, and comes with a bit of cloud cover as well. So and although I did go paddle boarding yesterday.
Oh.
And that was if I didn't love Austin before, now I'm head over heels, because that was the most. I was so surprised. I thought it was going to be really tough. It wasn't that bad. It's my new favorite thing to do.
So now you're cemented there. That's it. You're sold.
I am.
Yeah, we had a couple of people checking in about that. How are you settling in Austin? And so we covered that. We are here live with Aubrey Logan. Show some love in the comments. Let us know where you're viewing from. I mean, we've pretty much covered the world. We're waiting for Australia and Japan to wake up. I'm sure they'll check in here pretty
They'll
cool.
watch the replay.
Yeah, some of the guys start checking in around this time with their coffee, so we'll see. And for those of you that are just joining us, this will all be archived on our Facebook page. So some of the questions that are being asked, we've already, equipment and things like that, we've already covered, so you can rewind afterwards. And for those of you who have friends that don't do the social media thing, this will also be posted on YouTube. So you can share this after the fact with your non-social friends. Okay, so Juha is asking Aubrey, what age did you start playing the trombone?
Yeah, I was 12 years old, and we covered this extensively in that podcast.
Yes.
But I was sad that my friends were all in band and I wasn't, and I joined. That was the solution, was to join. So that was when I was 12 years old, and I had already been singing quite a bit, and it was time to do whatever it took to be in somewhere with my friends at school, and I never looked back.
And for the expanded answer, you can go to trombonecorner.com.
Yes, the expanded answer is very fun, so please go do it. Uh-oh, I lost your audio. Lost your audio.
Everyone's frozen.
There you are.
Hello.
I got you now.
This is too much technology that I'm licensed. So I was talking about myself and how I joined the slide club, and I have a soprano trombone now since we last chatted. So
Yeah, John recently is learning the slide, so very very crazy.
You are.
yeah, so I'm part of the club now.
Oh,
If he's gonna be managing and hosting a trombone
tiny little
podcast.
slide. It's like you're speaking like an Italian.
Exactly.
Yeah,
just
pretty much.
half positions. It's really odd.
Yeah, exactly. I could never do that.
It's so cute.
Oh man, we got more people checking in from Ireland. I got to read this comment. This comes from Steve, Rath bass bone player from London. Love your work, Aubrey. When you play, it's like someone pouring cream. I mean, that's it, right? You can't get a better description. Just gorgeous and rich. Do you think? Do you link singing a jazz solo? I can read a question. I promise I can. The actual question. I mean, I was blushing. That was such a great description. It wasn't even about me. So, do you like singing a jazz solo to how you'd play it, and vice versa?
Yes, I do. I don't know how conscious that is because I don't really know how to separate the two in my mind. I mean, I will say I'm always trying to play whatever I can sing. And then when I sing, it's just easy. And when I play the trombone, it's the most difficult thing ever. I don't know why I play the trombone. It was a horrible decision because it's like, it's never easy. But anyway, it gets easier. But it's all. Yeah, to answer your question, I'm always the constant battle and life mission that I have is to eventually, one day, be able to play what I can sing. I don't think I'll ever get there, but I would like to. And so, I mean, yeah, I all of the ideas you hear might have been something I sung in my head first, for sure. But I can't play it all. I'm working on it.
Working on it. It's kind of as a follow-up. This comes from Edward. Is your main love the trombone or singing? And if you could only do one, which would it be?
If I could only do one, I mean, I would have to be singing because I came out of the womb singing. I don't think I love one more than the other because they are not the same thing. But I don't. Yeah, I get that question a lot. I'm not sure how to answer. Because I can't. I mean, I suppose if the trombone were taken away, I would still have music. You know, if we're gonna get deep and philosophical about this. If my voice were taken away, that would be more to take away, I suppose. But the trombone is definitely an extension of my voice. At least that's how I think of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can hear that in your albums. You know the connection between your jazz soloing and when you're scat singing and your phrasing and stuff. It's you. You know, it's just a different medium. You know. Yeah.
Thank you.
And we woke Sydney up. We have a couple friends checking in from Australia, so now we have. I mean, we should count how many time zones we're covering between Europe.
We should.
Yeah. The power of the internet. Love it. Samantha, and we talked about the single you just released, but are there any? Samantha's asking if there's any other projects you're working on now coming up that you can talk about.
Yeah, so this is sort of what we were talking about on your podcast in regards to what people are doing during the middle of the pandemic. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the podcast, but I had actually planned a break. I'd actually planned a break from touring for April, May, and June, which is an amazing blessing considering what happened. Because I planned that break long before I knew of any shutdown or any lockdown of any sort. And that break was intended to get myself a chance to breathe and figure out what I wanted to do next. So happily, I can say I really do know what I'm going to do next. And it is going to be very jazzy. I'll say this. The next album will be very jazzy, and it will be the jazziest you've heard yet. And I haven't really done that yet, so it's time. And in the meantime, however, I will be releasing singles almost monthly. So if people want those, just make sure you're following on Spotify or Apple Music, if those are two of your things, or whatever, or Deezer, or what's the other title? Whatever it is, the streaming platform, Spotify for sure, but every other one, make sure you're like doing the follow thing, because I am going to release a single almost every month in the meantime, especially during the time that a tour isn't really feasible. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, you can bet that there's a project coming out for 2021, and be on the lookout.
Jazzy. Cool.
Very exciting.
And a lot of love here about your answer about the singing versus trombone playing. It, great, almost no answer is a good answer. You are who you are. Very philosophical. So we have a deep audience, deep viewers.
We do. They're smart.
Andrew is checking in. Andrew Brandt, 6th grade band together was a blast, Aubrey. Congratulations on your amazing
Andrew.
success. Keep singing and playing your heart out.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Andrew.
So, yeah.
He was so tall. I wasn't.
Awesome.
I am now. I'm kidding.
We are here live with Aubrey Logan. We're here for another 10 or 15 minutes, so if you have any questions, we'll try to get to as many as we can here. I can't scroll fast enough, so...
What were the ones you guys had already, or did we already cover those?
Well, one was about the plastic mouthpiece.
Yes.
Yeah, Aaron is asking about your writing.
Yeah.
Do you start with the melody or words, or how do your originals come about?
Did we talk about this in the podcast too?
I think we touched on it.
We touched
just
on
a
it?
little
Okay.
bit, just a little bit, but I don't think
you all have to go listen to that, because we were way more eloquent on that podcast than we are today. But I sort of, how do I do it? It usually comes with one rhythmic / melodic idea first that's very short, like a tiny idea, and many times it's lyrical. So LA, can you believe I'm still here today? That's an example. So there's a melody, a lyric, and rhythms. At that point, I don't have the rest, so I've just given myself an idea, or I got an idea, and there's no story yet. What usually happens is an idea like that comes, it's very short, and then suddenly I have to go, oh, there's a story behind that. Oh no, what is the story? Then comes the really, really hard work. As far as the music being written, it's very synchronous. I don't write, like, if there's any melody at all written, there's already chords. They're done, because the melody implies the chords to me immediately. I might play with them and mess around with them later, but the implicit chord progression is already there automatically. Rhythmic stuff I might tweak later. All of that's kind of not the problem, and even it's already orchestrated in my head. I just have to hash out the orchestration. That stuff's kind of easy, and when I say easy, it is time consuming to write it out, but it's like kind of already there. The hardest part is lyrics. It's the hardest part. That takes me forever, rewrite after rewrite. I'm not a quick lyricist. I have friends who are. I hate them. Hate those people. And they just come up with lyrics like immediately, and I'm like, how did you come up with saying so much with so few words? Because that's the hardest part about lyrics, is you want to say everything, but you don't have the luxury of saying many words. Like the song Yesterday by the Beatles is probably some of the greatest lyrics in pop music, but they're so simple and they're so applicable to every single person. And that is so difficult to achieve and takes me so much time to achieve. So yeah, when you're hearing a jazz head that I wrote, you can bet that wasn't too difficult and that I was lazy on that one. And then when you hear a very simple lyric song, like I wrote the Remembering song, it took me months to figure that out. It took me forever to write LA, and it took me like no time at all to write Tom Bradley, International Criminal. Like that was written in 2 seconds. Just because it's there, it's in you, it's animalistic almost. And then like the lyrics, you have to be so.
Darn English language, right?
I know.
Oh yeah, someone's mentioning Charlie Chaplin's Smile, something like that. I mean, those are great examples of just
right. Yeah, and Cole, when your standard is Cole Porter, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Or Carole King, dang it! Why do I have to admire such good songwriters? It's horrible.
I don't know, airport codes. I was listening to that earlier. I mean, that it made me want to travel, even though it's kind of the opposite about being, on the road and missing home. But, hearing all those LGAs and LAX and all that stuff. And yeah,
you were pining for the airplane.
I was pining for an overpriced drink. There you go. That's the next. I want to hear that on the next album.
Oh man.
Someone, Thomas was following up, and you're talking about your new project, your jazzy project. Can you get into more of what style of jazz that's going to be in, or is that super secret?
Top secret stuff here.
Do we have to?
It's gonna be. How do I not spoil it? Well, kind of telling you. You can expect. It's going to be modern jazz, but it's not going to be R&B jazz. It's not going to be contemporary jazz. Not going to be that. If you can picture a difference, it'll be. You're going to hear a lot of acoustic bass and real drums and actual piano. You're going to hear a lot of that.
Ooh.
And you won't hear any production. You won't hear any. Probably won't hear much.
It's holistic jazz. Holistic jazz.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say one of my favorite artists in the world is Kurt Elling, and we love his albums. We love how he sings. We love his bands. We love who plays with him, and I haven't done that yet, and it's time to do something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm even more excited, man.
And maybe I am going to ask some people to duet with me. So.
Well,
yeah.
Very cool.
Please let us know. I mean, you're a genius at social media, so I'm sure we'll know anyway. But please let us know. And
if people want to know, if people really want to know, because I'll tell you guys the truth, social media just does not tell you everything. Mm-hmm. It tells you what it thinks you want. It doesn't necessarily tell you what you want. The only way to really know, and this is probably the same for your guys' website, is to go to find the artist you really like, go to their actual website. And mine is AubreyLogan.com, if you'd like to do it. And there's all artists have a mailing list. We all have a mailing list. So sign up for that, because if you don't do that, you're only getting certain things on social media. You're not getting all the news. And then you miss something, and you miss a show in your neighborhood, you miss a new release, you miss a lot. And so that would be a shame. But email list is king for independent artists and podcasters.
And I just put the link, in case people can't type it in Google, I just put the link down in the comments, so folks can click right over there and join your mailing list. Sam is asking, and this is, as musicians in this day and age, is, I think, really topical, just the business side of music. Is buying music no longer cool as opposed to streaming, or what's the mode? I mean, you have to be on Spotify and stuff like that, right?
Right. So my mode is live music, and anything I can possibly do to serve the live show is king for me. So that means any album I make streaming is highly important to me, because then you will find out who I am. The more people that stream me on streaming platforms, and the more you stream me on a streaming platform, the more likely my music is to be shared with someone else who's never heard of me before. So that's why I'm always like, please follow on Spotify, please follow on iTunes, please, stream, share, because it's how people now get discovered. So no, I don't consider streaming my moneymaker necessarily. That is live music, that is live shows, because that's the service I provide. The service I provide is live music. However, of course, would I mind if you buy my music? Absolutely not. Like, it does help me. But your streaming does help me, just in a different, indirect sort of way now. It is my promotion, because radio is different now. It's not what it was. And with the exception of Pandora and Spotify and streaming platforms. So the point of those for me is also, because also if you follow on Spotify, you get, it's another way in which people also will be alerted if I'm playing a show in their town. So it helps me so much when people actually put me on their playlist, actually save my music there. Not because it's the way my business is really getting income so much, because that's from the live shows themselves. But it is absolutely the way I get discovered. And it does work algorithmically. So the more you're on there, the more someone else will find me. And that probably explains my plea.
Yeah, I mean, the music business has basically in the last 20 years or so been turned on its head from, album sales as being the basis to live and merchandise and things like that. Which I think, I don't know, Noah, you can speak to this, how like we feel as musicians, we want to be paid for our product, which is the music, and what goes into an album, but that's not necessarily the case anymore.
The traditional labels are just not what they used to be anymore. Right. So, there is a lot more on the individual artist to facilitate your own brand building, I think, rather than back in the day you would get a label that would cover your recording costs and all those things, and then they would present your music. Now it's a lot more on you to do that, like what you're saying. So
yeah, I mean, it's all on you to do that. But the beauty of that, I mean, it comes with extra work and it comes with an entrepreneurial spirit that maybe it wasn't so required before. But the beauty of that is we're headed back into the era of Michelangelo. We're headed, hopefully with plumbing and electricity, but like we're headed back into the time where artists are patronized by their actual fans, by their actual people who like them. Because I will eventually do a subscription platform. I will eventually do something like a Patreon where it's regular and my fans are actually getting something from me directly because they are supporting me financially and supporting the art financially. You're getting from independent artists their very best, whereas I can't say that for the pop era of the 90s because they're going through filters and filters and filters and filters. So that's the advantage of it. You're getting what the artist actually wants to give you, which is going to be their best, and come from a very authentic place automatically. I mean, yeah.
Great advice. And you got to, as a musician, young and old, you have to stay on top of the business side of things and know what's going on. And I feel it here, like a lot of our clients will stick to their guns about, well, I have to sell an album for $18.99 and produce a CD. And, when they don't get the results they're expecting, you either change with the times.
My car doesn't have a CD player. I can't expect somebody else to. But I do have CDs and I do sell them, and they are there. But they're there as I take them to shows and I sign them and all those things. And vinyl is becoming popular right now, but not because people need it, because it's special, because people want it. And that's very different. It used to be you had to have a vinyl to listen to something, and now it's you get to have a vinyl because it's special, but you don't need it. It's like you don't need a book, you have a Kindle.
I think I need a vinyl. The new album's coming out on vinyl.
Yeah, right? John, you need some vinyl.
Is the Jazzy album coming out on vinyl?
Absolutely.
I want the first one.
Oh, please, it's yours.
Put my order in right now.
You got it.
Let's get back to the questions here. We have a few more minutes. And, of course, for those of you who have just joined us, we were here live with Aubrey Logan. Noah Gladstone of the Brass Arc is helping me out. And, what an awesome Monday. Great way to start off the week talking about singing and songwriting and trombone and music. And, I can't think of a better way to spend the afternoon. Frank is checking in. You're a great natural entertainer, Aubrey. Have seen you live at Hotel Cafe twice. Money aside, do you prefer big venues or small ones?
Gosh, did we talk about that too? These are all the podcast questions, you guys. I when I'm at a small venue and actually performing the show in a small venue, I sometimes miss big venues during that moment. And then when I'm at a big venue actually performing a show in the big venue, I end up missing small venues in that moment. So how's that for an answer?
You make a great lawyer, there's what do you like, trombone or singing? Well, it depends.
You can't replace the specialness of a packed small venue. You can't replace the ability to see the looks on people's faces right there. And then you can't replace the majestic mega feeling you get in a large venue, where yeah, it's really, I end up, I don't know if I sound different. I think I probably to you sound the same in each venue, but I feel different. I feel like I'm giving more subtle cues in a small venue, and I'm giving more, I'm part of something huge in a big venue. So yeah, I like them both.
Great answer. Joni Rapp is checking in, says hello and best regards. And her question, kind of a funny one: what color will your hair be at Birdland?
Let me think. I think, well, I'm what they call, my hairstylist said that I'm a blonderexic right now. So I think it's going to be a little bit blonder at Birdland until it grows out. You can bet, it depends. You can bet about every 2 years you're going to see a big change. So I got another like year and a half of this.
Okay. Okay. We'll have to wait and see. Steve Clark checking in. So when you're playing, can you sing a note on pitch and then, or pitch it perfectly then on trombone, or a lick? Like, do you sing a lick and can pick up the trombone and play it, or how does that work out?
See, I just got the B flat. I sang an A flat and out came a B flat. So no, I can't. I can. I sometimes do. If I have a reference pitch from the beginning of a show, then yes, I can. If I can hear a band playing behind me, then yes, I can. Or if I was just warming up, then yes, I can. But not always. I don't know what perfect pitch is really. I suppose I don't have it. But I do have, like, once a show has begun, I can start every song on the right pitch after that, but not until maybe I've heard a reference pitch that morning or something. So I don't think
perfect relative pitch, I think they call that.
Yeah. Trained ear. So as far as playing the trombone, yeah, I can judge a note by feel before I can even judge it by sound. But I think a lot of brass players can relate to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're in a zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if like the band's playing, you're on stage, or you've been playing for a while. Yeah, you connect.
Yep.
Yeah. For me, it's pushing a finger down. I know which one.
But you hear all the partials in your head before you do that. Yeah.
6 months, it'll be second and third position on my soprano.
Oh, jeez.
Crazy.
Oh, I'm gonna drive you all nuts.
Hey,
just
John,
wait.
I guess we'll do the row shoes later.
Just wait.
Octaves.
Just
wait. I love the row shoes.
We'll do them as trios over Skype or Zoom.
Yeah,
please.
Facebook Live with Aubrey and the brass arc and Bob Reese doing row shoes and octaves. It'll be great.
Oh man.
Talk about a nerdy podcast.
Let's deep, guys. I'm into it.
Both people will watch.
And the Bach cello suites. Those aren't for public performance.
No, they're not.
Although shout out to Charlie Vernon if you guys haven't seen the Chicago Symphony of him playing Sarabande this morning. It sounds great. So very nice.
Man. Well, what fun this has been. Thank you, everybody.
It has been.
Thank you
totally
so much.
Thank you.
I should just mention for those viewing, if you just joined in, this whole Q&A will be posted and archived on our Facebook page, so you can go back and watch. It'll also be uploaded on YouTube pretty soon, so you can, if you have friends that you want to share this with, you can always check on YouTube on the Bob Reeves Brass page, and this will all be up there for those of us that aren't social. But Aubrey, it's so cool. I mean, when we did the podcast, you were still in LA, and so it's so cool to see you that you've moved successfully and everyone's still safe and healthy and everything.
It was the easiest move it could have possibly been.
Awesome, great to hear, and thanks again for being on the podcast. I mean, it was.
Thank you. I hope everybody listens to the podcast because I really enjoyed it. I really do mean it. It was the best podcast episode I've ever been a part of. I really mean it.
Thank you.
Okay, can I confess for a minute? I'm thinking, oh, it's a trombone, guys. Oh man, get my glasses on. Let's do this. What are they gonna ask me? Like, is there gonna be a bunch of awkward silence?
So, what slide grease do you use, Aubrey?
Yeah.
Slido-Mix. I use Slido.
Slido. Now, do you use the one with the black top or the two bottles with the red?
I use the black top. I use the one already combined.
There you go.
If I run out, I have my red one.
Just in case for emergency situations.
Just in case, because you always have one lying around.
Of course.
Although right now everything's in storage. All my stuff's in storage, so I have nothing.
And,
but yeah. Please listen to the podcast, guys.
It means a lot to us, obviously.
Thank you, yeah.
So we'll have the links to all that, trombonecorner.com. And then you talked about how to find you, AubreyLogan.com. I've already thrown the link to your website for the technologically disabled handicapped to just click the link and you can get over and sign up for your email list. And social media, I highly suggest following you all over the place because you're always providing great content and fun stuff and spreading joy and enthusiasm. So keep it up.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Aubrey.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for your help, Noah.
Good to see you.
See you. You guys looking great as always. And thank everyone for watching. This has been so awesome. What a great way to spend, like I'm saying, a Monday afternoon. We will be back on Thursday at a new time, a little bit later, because we will have, all the way from Australia, Greg Spence, who is the master behind Mystery to Mastery, and of course a fabulous commercial player down in Australia. So join us at a new time a couple hours later. It'll be Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, because we will be connecting all the way to Australia, and we didn't want Greg to wake up too early in the morning. As I had mentioned, trombonecorner.com is available pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts. It's on Spotify, it's on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and online at trombonecorner.com, where Noah Gladstone and I have fun talking all things trombone.
And we have another one coming out.
We have another one coming out. We have Alan Kaplan should be posting today, and a couple other surprise guests coming up in the future. So make sure you catch that. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. We're everywhere. And until next time, thank you for joining us. Be safe, be healthy, and maybe go out and practice now, shall we? Bye-bye for now.